Hello everyone, my name is Amy. I am the Black Cat Stitcher here on Flosstube and on Instagram. And I'm back. It's been a while, and then I've been able to talk to my Stitchy friends on the internets. And I took a long hiatus for a couple months there because my coworker got a job opportunity, and as the one of two employees at the museum, I was alone and I needed to do the job of two people while we were hiring a new partner in crime for me. We finally have hired somebody and they will be here at the beginning of April. And yeah, so I have a little time here to do a floss tube, and for this floss tube, for those of you who have watched previous videos, I usually talk about books and stitching. However, I have read a lot since, or I guess clarified, I've listened to a lot of audiobooks since I stopped filming back in December for my little hiatus. And yeah, I was thinking about it, and honestly, it's too many books to come up with a concise, meaningful, and I guess productive discussion to talk about. And yeah, I'm going to start from this moment and talk about books next time. I guess I'm in between books now, so I'll talk about the next book that I start reading in my next Flosstube video. But anyway, for this video, we're focusing on cross-stitching, and I'm going to talk about my WIPGO plans because I'm starting a new different type of rotation and I'm participating in WIPGO this year, and I guess that will essentially mean I'm going to be doing a WIP parade, because when I was making my WIPGO board back in December, I made sure to add all of my WIPs and some new starts, which are always exciting. So yeah, this video isn't going to have a very defined section, so there'll be plans, haul, WIPs, all together, kind of just going with my flow of consciousness. So basically, I guess I should show you, this is a screenshot of my current WIPGO board status. It shows all of the ones that I've completed in dark blue. The ones that have been called but not completed are in dark green. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna go, oh, and I guess for those of you who have seen my WIPGO and progress photos on Instagram and Facebook on the WIPGO group, this is different. I've changed it slightly. Yeah, anyways, that is my WIPGO. So I'm going to go 1 through 25, and talk about all my WIPs, or my plans, I guess. The first project on my WIPGO board, right here, is Bubble Cat. And you will hear lots of rustling today because I'm not, well, I should probably show you, to be honest. This is how I store all of my works in progress, aka WIPs. So I have this little tote I bought at Walmart. I have it beside my bed, and all of my project bags fit in this vertically. And that's how so I'm going to be pulling from here. You'll hear lots of crinkling, and I apologize to those who don't like the crinkles. But anyway, I'm also going to be trying to find all of these WIPs because a lot of these I haven't worked on recently. And this is one of them. I do believe this is what it's supposed to look like right here. And this is, I believe I have a before picture because I have worked on this particular WIP since I've last filmed. So let's open this bag. This is a WIP that was a kit that my aunt got me for Christmas last year on Amazon. And my goal for this one is a page finish. I believe like right here is where the page cuts off, right here in the bubble, and then I don't know how far down exactly it goes, maybe to here, maybe a little longer because the pages are kind of big. But yes, anyway, my goal for this is a page finish. And I've only got this particular project on my WIPGO board once. There are some projects that I have on my board multiple times, and I will mention them when I get there. All right, so that's WIP number 1, or WIPGO goal number 1. WIP goal number 2 was called in January, which I have already completed. It was a new start. It was my new year, new start. I mean, I didn't plan it that way, but that's how it ended up. And if you're my mother or my aunt, I urge you to look away, because this is going to be a gift project. And I know for sure my mom watches these, but I'm not sure about my aunt, but you know, better safe than sorry, right? But anyway, here is a picture of what it will look like. There are lots of patterns on, because it was a bundle set that I bought on Whoopee Cat Etsy shop. This is based on illustrations by Mary Golay. They're Art Deco Stone cat. Sorry, my drink was in jeopardy. Anyways, where was I? They are based on art by Mary Golay. They're Art Deco flowers, and yeah, I should probably get the WIP out before before I continue talking, because, you know, I don't want too long. This, as I said, is a new start, and I have this particular piece on my WIPGO board, let's see, twice, and I've done both of them, actually. The goals that I had set for this project were called both in January, and I've completed both of them. So each goal was to do 1,000 stitches, and here's where I'm at. This is roughly 2,000. I think I went over that goal, like 2020 or something. But this is where I'm at. I am working on the border, and this black outline here is around the top of the red iris. But yeah, I'm doing this one and another one, which will be the companion, and I'm going to gift these to my mom and my aunt simultaneously for Christmas when I get there. And I have another piece of fabric to start my aunt's project, you know, when it gets called on WIPGO, which I will talk about when it comes up in my, you know, little discussion here. But anyway, number 3. Okay, number 3. This one is a fun one. This will encapsulate a little bit of future plans, as in next year. So it'll be fun. And I'm also going to talk about several different spots on my WIPGO board, because this is, goodness gracious, did I not put it in here? Is it not in here? Oh dear. This might be sad, because I don't know where it is. Oh shoot. That's not it. Is this it? Yes. Alright. Crisis averted, everyone. Okay. Alright, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4 different spots on my WIPGO board that are related to this WIP. And now this is a picture of my WIP. There are 4 different patterns on this WIP, but I'm counting it as one WIP because it came as a set. I'm using the same Q-snap and it fits in the same project bag. So it is a single WIP with 4 different pieces of fabric in it. But the first, number 3, is one that I haven't showed you yet, I believe, since I last spoke to you. So I don't believe I have a before picture for this one. All right. This is the purple tree on that picture I showed you. Which my goal for all 4 of these designs is to finish them. And this is number 3, the purple tree. Number 6 on my WIPGO board is the blue tree, and I have already finished that one. This was my travel, WIP when I went home for Christmas break. So let me hold this up better. Struggling. Anyway, this was my travel WIP, and I finished this over Christmas break when I took it with me. And I finished it. I have a date, y'all. WIPGO has done that for me. I've actually recorded when I finish things. I finished this on 12/29/2021. So, that is number 6, number 6 on my WIPGO board, completed before it's been called. All right, so next on my WIPGO board for this WIP, I have let me actually bring this in front of me so I'm not looking aside. Number 21 is the next one, and that is also still not completed. I believe I have a before picture of this one. I do not know for sure though. So you'll see it if it's there. If it's not, you won't see it. But let me move the strings out of the way. This is where I'm at on the pink tree. Now this one I also worked on over Christmas vacation, mostly in the airport on the way back home, and in the airplane. So I've got a little bit more progress on this. And yeah, this one is also slated for a finish. Next, on number 22 is the orange Christmas tree, or seasonal tree. And I've also finished that one. I finished most of this over Christmas break, but this color right here, this lighter medium toned blue turquoise color, I ran out of that. So I was so close to finishing it over Christmas vacation, but I brought it home and I ended up finishing it on January 21st after I'd finished my WIPGO goals for the month of January. So number 24, 21, 6, and 3 are all from this one set, which is, by the way, by DMC Cross Stitch on Etsy, and she, fun fact, or he, I don't know, probably a she, is a Ukrainian designer. So if you're looking to buy patterns to support a Ukrainian in their time of need, now that Russia has invaded, this is a great option. She has, yes, Hirsch, she has wonderful patterns that are all very beautiful, and yeah, I encourage you to look her up and show her your support. Alrighty, now on back to WIPGO. Number 4 on WIPGO is for my Heaven and Earth design. This is Museum Shelf, here's what it's supposed to look like, by Aimee Stewart, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs. And now, if you have watched me for a while, you'll know that I have stopped and started this 3 times now. This is my 3rd start of this project, which a lot of you said you have a lot of patience for that, but I'm very determined to do it. And most of the reasons why I've had to restart things is because, I'm basically experimenting and trying out and learning as I continue on my cross-stitch journey what I like. Because with this, I was trying out a different type of fabric, or different count, I guess, of fabric. I usually, all of my other projects, except for this one and my Mary Golay pieces, are on 18 count. Or on 14 count, I mean. This one and my Mary Golay are on 18 count. This was previously on 25 count. So I restarted it on 18 count and I'm loving it so much more. So here is where I'm at. Now with this one, my goals, I have this on my WIPGO 3 times. I have 2 instances where I say to do 1,000 stitches. So 2,000 stitches. And the third goal is to do a page finish. So hopefully I can get there. This particular goal, the page finish, that is one of those that I'm like, maybe, maybe not, maybe I can get there, maybe I won't. We'll see. But I do have a question on this. Now, this is done 4/1 because I usually do my 14 count on 4/1. However, I've discovered with 18 count that I like doing it 2/1 much better. Do I rip this out and start the 4th time, 2/1, or do I leave it and just continue on with 2/1? Experienced teachers or stitchers, please sound off in the comments and tell me, give me advice, please. Because I mean, I'm leaning towards starting it over because I feel like 2/1 versus 4/1 is too much of a difference in terms of bulkiness of the thread that it will be noticeable. But I could be wrong about that, and those of you who have completed a HAID and have changed your, stitching method, I guess, partially way through it, like, can you tell? Is it noticeable? Anyway, so for my HAID on WIPGO, I have it's charted for number 4, which is the page finish. Number 20, number 20, which is do 1,000 stitches, and number 11, which is do 1,000 stitches. So, on to number 5. Number 5 was called in February, and so was number 17, which I'm having trouble speaking and enunciating today. Incidentally, was the same project. So that was wonderful. So number 5 is to finish the pink flowers on this pattern. And number 17 is to finish the blue snake on this pattern. This pattern is Snake Something by Unique Patterns on Etsy. And here's a picture of what it looked like when I started my journey. And here is it now. I have completed my goals. There we go. It's kind of dark in here today. That's a problem. Anyway, I do have a slight problem with this pattern. I don't know if it's because I miscounted and I made mistakes or because that's just the way it is, but the face on this snake doesn't really stand out. I mean, I can see his mouth and under his chin, but his eyeball, which is about right here, and like the, I guess, border between his body and the rest of this and the head doesn't stand out as much to me. I was thinking perhaps, at least for the fix the eyeball, to rip out those like 4 or 5 stitches and use like a darker, not a darker, like more noticeable shade of purple, which is, it's in a dark purple currently. Or I guess backstitch the snake. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about backstitching, mostly because do I have to do all of it in backstitch? Do I have to backstitch the flowers? Do I have to backstitch the whole snake's body? Do I have to just backstitch like the features on the head? What? That's another question, I guess. If you have an answer, please tell me. But for now, I'm going to keep going. I'm going to wait until I finish this, I guess, to see, because I'm not sure if the other snake's eyeball or whatnot, if I'll have the same issue with the other, snake's facial features. And I can, come up with a plan for both, if I need to make changes at the same time. So, like I said, number 5 and number 17 were on this pattern. So awesome. Number 6, like I said, was the blue tree, which I have already finished. Number 7. Number 7 is an exciting one, y'all. All right. Let's see, where is number 7? Here's number 7. Nope, that's not number 7. This is what happens when you do WIP parades when you're not totally organized. But anyway, this is number 7. My Star Wars cross stitch by Nina Olson Embroidery on Etsy. And this project I'm doing as a gift to my dad, and I probably should have said this 5 seconds ago, but Dad, you need to go away. And not look, because this is a gift for you. But my goal on this for this year is to finish it. And now with my WIPGO, the plan that I've, set for myself is to, I have 3, I guess, WIPs that I have set for a finish this year on my WIPGO board. And I want to I've kind of ranked them, I guess, in terms of priority. And this one is ranked number 1 because I want to get it done and framed by Christmas at the end of this year. My second rank is the trees, which I have already showed you. And my third rank is a project that I haven't showed you yet, but I will bring it up when I get there. But anyway, this is where I'm at. I don't know if you can see the whole thing, because I can't see in front of me. But if you can't, I have this on Instagram a lot. So, this is 85% done. I'm hoping by the end of March to be 90% done. And then maybe do 5% in May and 5% in April. So I'll have it done by the end of May, hopefully, and sent off to the framers, aka my aunt, by then. Did I lose my needle on this? Sure, no I didn't, it's there. Okay, cool. So like I said, I've ranked them. So Pink Tree was already called for the month of March. As you can see in my WIPGO board is the dark green. I'm going to basically ignore that until I finish my first ranked finish. And then I'll go to my second ranked finish. So now I'm going to explain why I've ranked this one number 1 and the other one number 2. I've ranked this one number 1 because I already have a project planned to start as soon as I finish this. So when I finish this in May, I'm going to send out that good energy that I'm going to make it happen by the end of May. I'm going to reward myself by putting 1,000 stitches in this project. This is You Belong to Me by Long Dog Sampler. My first long dog. So generally speaking, samplers aren't really my thing. I don't really enjoy doing them. I like doing full coverage, and I have a lot of Etsy patterns. So if I'm interested in, subject matter, I'll buy it. But this one really caught my eye. I first saw this on Bees and Tees Stitching, Sebastian's channel. He's awesome. If you aren't watching him, I recommend. But anyway, I first saw it on his channel, and I immediately fell in love, and I immediately purchased it. So I have been consulting with my aunt on fabric choices, floss choices, and I've ordered a small portion of those. But my color and fabric choices are inspired by this picture. I was searching on the internet with my aunt for, ancient Egypt artifacts and art, and this is a, portrait of, I think, King Tut in his burial chamber in ancient Egypt. So I decided on this as inspiration. So my fabric choice is this. This is Harvest Gold dyed by To Dye For Fabrics. And it matches pretty decently the background of the photo that I just showed you guys. And on this fabric, I've selected 3 different floss colors, but I'm probably going to add a 4th. And this is my floss selection so far. I'm excited. This is my first venture into variegated flosses. So I'm gonna show you, I guess, the green is Arugula by Leo and Roxy Yarn Company. Yep, and it's a slightly variegated green, and it matches, I guess, the green in this guy's collar. This is Red Dragon by Night Stalkers Calling. This red. It's a red and orangish variegated thread, and I'm going to use, it kind of matches also the red in the collar of that picture. And then this is Stitchy's Stuff Shadow Stone by Stitchy Stuff. And it's a slightly, you can see somewhat, I guess this is a lighter shade of blue. It's kind of hard to tell. Don't know why I showed it, but it's a dark navy that kind of matches the headdress of this gentleman in this picture. So yeah, I'm going to use these 3 colors as the main 3 colors, and I'm going to, I guess, sporadically pick and choose a motif and do it in, you know, different colors. And I'm going to try and do it so that the motifs that are touching aren't the same color. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, but I kind of want a 4th color as like a neutral to do the border and some of the smaller animals and butterflies and whatnot in the Long Dogs pattern. And I was thinking, bring up the picture again, ta-da! I was thinking one of 2 options. The option that I thought of is, I guess, number 1 in my mind so far, is a DMC color that I'll pull from my stash that is similar to this gentleman's skin tone. And I can't really think of one, and I haven't really done a floss toss with my DMC stash to see which one is most similar. But if you can think of one off the top of your head, please tell me in the comments down below, because that will greatly help and reduce the amount of stress it takes me to go through my giant DMC stash to find the correct skin tone color for this guy. I've looked a little bit on the skin tone chart websites that I've heard being recommended on other floss tubers show or episodes or YouTube videos. That's the word I'm looking for. And I haven't put too much effort into it, but I mean, none of them seem quite right, because this is kind of like an orangey tan, and I mean, I don't know. If you can think of a color, please tell me. But the second option is more of a cream color, like in some of his jewelry and on top of his, in his jewelry. But like, I don't know, B2 5200 is too cream, but maybe like a crew, that's also kind of too dark. I don't know. Some sort of whitish creamy color that will match the whitish cream in this picture. Anyway, also if you have an idea for that, shout it out, and I will, when I do my floss toss, it'll help me to have options. So anyway, and now we're back, I guess, to the trees. My goal is to finish those, and they're ranked second. They're ranked second because I have a pattern in mind. I haven't purchased it, and nor have I purchased any of the fabric, floss, whatever. This is what I'm going to do when I finish the trees. These are QS Grace Faces by Josephine, art by Josephine Wallace, charted by Heaven and Earth Designs, or HAID. And this is a set. QS means quick stitch in HAID lingo. And I'm going to start these and purchase and start these when I finish the trees. Although I haven't bought any of that materials, hopefully I guess that will be my reward for finishing all the trees, is buying all of it. I don't have any plans to start it immediately like I do my long dog, but anyway, back to WIPGO. Let's bring up the board and we'll show you number 8. Number 8, I have on here twice as well. Or this project, I should say, is on here twice. Oh, geez Louise. Of course it was the first bag I pulled because, you know. Anyway, this, it's getting super dark in here. I could probably turn on a light. Let's see. Is that helping? It makes my face look shadowy, but hopefully you'll see the projects better. Okay. This is what I'm calling Shy Cat. I do not remember the name of the actual pattern. This is Shy Cat. I'm doing this all in anchor thread, and my goal is to finish this. I have it on my WIPGO twice, one to do a page finish, just to kind of work my way up to the finish, because I still have quite a ways to go on this one to finish it. Yes. Anyways, I'm doing this in anchor floss, and this is from the Etsy shop that I shall not be promoting, because this shop has been removed from Etsy, I think for copyright, because when I was shopping on this is literally the second pattern I've ever bought in my cross-stitch career. So, this shop had, now that I know more and I've seen more of the cross-stitch world, they had Heaven and Earth design or charted designs on their website for sale. I doubt they got licensing from the artists, as Haid does, to post those patterns. They've also had other kits that I recognize, PDF, copies of, kit patterns. And yeah, I think the one that I showed you is an original of theirs, but you can't sell original art and copyrighted materials from other artists on the same site. That is not okay. Pay the artist. So anyway, I'm gonna finish this, and I have a plan, I guess, to start something after I finish that one. If I can dig it out from here, I've got it. So I'm going to start Stony Creek Haunted Welcome. I don't have anything except for the pattern for this. But when I do start it, I do have a question. This is charted to be on a darker gray fabric, and I have previously UFO'd things for being on a black fabric. Those of you with experience, who don't necessarily enjoy black fabric, if it's a dark gray, is that too similar to black? Will I hate it? Will I need to perhaps think of doing it on a lighter gray? But yeah, I'm gonna try to start this one, which I purchased, by the way, when I was home for Christmas break. I went on my first ever pilgrimage to a LNS, the Stitchery Nook, I think that's what it's called, something Nook in Osage, Iowa, which is not far from where I grew up. So a lot of the things that I plan to start and things that I'm going to show you as part of my WIPGO came from my haul from that pilgrimage. Now I've lost my paper for my WIPGO board. Okay. Now 8, like I said, is the page finish for Shy Cat. And it's also on here for a fully finish, or just a finish, not a fully finish, for number 14. All right, 9. 9, if you've followed me on Instagram or on my Facebook album for the WIPGO Facebook group, this one I've changed, only slightly. It's still the same designer, it's just a different pattern. In my previous WIPGO board, I said I was going to start, here's the the deal. This is the same Mary Golay flowers. This will be my aunt's project. Go away, auntie, if you're watching this. That was rude. Step away temporarily, auntie. Anyway, I was planning on doing the daffodils, or at least what I think are daffodils. I don't know. I haven't read the title of the project to know what kind of flower it is. But I changed it because I covertly tricked her into telling me which one she wanted me to do for her. She still doesn't know it. She thinks I was doing a buy one get one free sale on Etsy, and I asked her which one she liked better. But yeah, I changed it to the red spiky one in this picture. The red spiky one is called a Crown Imperial Iris. So I'm going to do that one and the red iris, which I've already shown you my start on. But I haven't started this one yet. I have the fabric, I have the floss. I'm just waiting for it to be called for number, I have it on here, number 9 and number 24. And each iteration I am asking myself to do 1,000 stitches. All right, number 10 is a WIP or work in progress. This one I only have on here twice. I have it on number 10 and number 12. Oh, my cat is over there and he's looking at knocking over my things. But yes, this is upside down. This is where I'm 2 so far. I don't believe I have a before picture. If not, it'll be here covering my face. If I do, that is, I will have it here. Yes, I have it on my WIPGO board twice, and each goal is to do 1,000 stitches on this. This is a large WIP. I don't have any plans to replace this with anything anytime soon. And yeah, maybe next year I'll have plans to do a page finish if I haven't, because I don't know, I might have already done or at least the equivalent of a page finish. I don't know. We'll have to check the pattern and see whether or not I have already gotten a page finish. But maybe next year I'll do an additional page finish and be able to move my Q-snap over or down. That is another question that I will have to answer. All right. Number 10 was that. Number 11 is doing 1,000 stitches on my Heaven and Earth design, which I have already showed you. Number 12, like I said, 1,000 stitches on the watercolor city. Number 13 is the free space. Number 14 is finishing Shy Cat, which I've already showed you. Number 15, it was called in March, and I've already finished that prompt, as you can see on my WIPGO board. And now this is what it's going to look like. Don't drop it. When it's done, this is a butterfly pillowcases for stamped for embroidery by Design Works Crafts. It is another gift to me from my aunt over Christmas 2020. And I had previously said that I was UFOing this, but the reason that I'm UFOing it is because the type of embroidery on this that is being done is mostly satin stitch with a little bit of backstitch. And that doing satin stitch over and over and over and over again made me bored. So I had decided to UFO it because, you know, when it got spun on the wheel, I used to use a random pick wheel, or Tiny Decisions wheel. When it got spun, I didn't want to do it because I thought it was boring. But if I limit myself to a small goal, I think I can finish this. And here's what I've done. I've completed my goal. My goal was to stitch 1 butterfly. The colors are, there we go. I finished this butterfly previously, and this one is the one that I recently finished. I had it partially done. Here was where I started with. And along with my 1 butterfly goal, I wanted to do the backstitch on the vines that were directly touching the butterfly. And that will continue. And maybe next year, I was kind of testing it this year to see if doing a small goal would help me, you know, move forward with this piece, and it did. I completed this in a couple days, and then I was satisfied and ready to put it away. And it felt nice to reach a goal. So I think if I do, you know, a couple butterflies a year, eventually I'll finish this. And I don't know, I probably won't use them as pillowcases. Maybe I will, who knows. But maybe put them in, like, I'll have a butterfly themed guest bedroom someday. There, I have decided. All right, number 16 is another new start, and I haven't started this one yet, but I do have the material. I want to do a Mill Hill bead kit, or beaded kit. And I have two that I bought at the Stitchery Nook in Osage, Iowa. This is the one I'm going to do. I love stitching. There's a series, and there's pictures on the back. For the start, I'm not necessarily going to finish it, although I possibly could, and I might, because it's a small little ornament. But the goal is to get to the point where I try out the beading. I also bought a bigger Mill Hill kit called Ashes. It's part of the Alley Cat series. It's a little black cat. And if I finish this one, I might start this one next year, maybe. If I like the beading. If I don't, I might give this away. Who knows? We'll see. I'm just trying out some new things. All right. Number 17 was finishing the blue snake, which I already showed you. Number 18 is, I think this is my last WIP. All right, this is my last WIP. This is Human Anatomy. This is what it's supposed to look like in the end. I am stitching it on Honey Bee hand-dyed fabric by Vintage Needle Arts. And I bought the pattern on Light Unicorn Designs on Etsy. And here is where I'm at. Move this down a little. I do have to frog a little on this one. I used the wrong color in here somewhere. And I'm going to first frog that, and then once I've finished frogging, I'm going to do 1,000 stitches. That is my goal, WIPGO goal. And I only have this project on there once. Number 19 was called in January, and it was do 1,000 stitches on my red iris, which I already showed you. Number 20 is doing 1,000 stitches on my Heaven and Earth designs. Number 21 was finishing the pink tree. Number 22 is finishing the orange tree. And number 23 is a new start. I have where's my fabric for this question? It does not have an answer. Ah, ta-da! Nope, not a ta-da. It was behind me this whole time. Alright, I have officially UFO'd this project. This is a Rainbow City. This is, you know, where I got to on it. I have it upside down, don't I? This is where I got to on it. This is from the Etsy shop that has copyrighted designs, and this one is copyrighted. This is originally from the Make Your Own Hands kit, which I've seen a couple times on eBay. But the reason I UFO'd this is because of the fabric mostly. I don't like stitching on black fabric, I have discovered. But maybe I will restart the pattern, but if I do, I'm going to buy it from the original artist or on eBay. So I get the kit and I feel like I'm not contributing to copyright infringement. But yeah, I UFO'd that and I'm going to replace it with this pattern. This is called Horse. It's by Light Unicorn Designs, and I'm going to be stitching it on this fabric. This is Vintage Smoky White from Vintage Needle Arts, and it's a whitish, you can't really see it on, but it's got little splashes of like gray or brown swirls on the white. But anyway, that's that. And I'm going to start that as my number 23 project. Number 24 is Mary Golay, the Crown Imperial Iris again. And number 25 is another new start. Now this is, I guess, a beginning of, I guess, a project to use all of my scrap, I guess, projects left over from scrap fabric, I guess, left over from other projects that I have finished. And this is going to go on one of the scraps. Ink Circles, Elemental Dragons. And I'm going to be hand dyeing with Rit dye a piece of scrap white Aida. I believe I have one that's big enough. Not that I've measured, but yeah, I believe I have one that's big enough, and if not, I have a giant piece of Aida that I haven't cut into yet, that I can cut out a piece for this, so I'm not worried about it. But I'm gonna do it in this. Oh gosh, you can't see this at all because it's getting dark, y'all. I need to hurry. This is Water Lilies by Karen collection, number 231. Ethiopia, I believe, is the name of the variegated floss, but I'm going to he's getting into my now empty bag. I need to put things back in there, sweet. Thank you. But I'm gonna do that on my pink dyed fabric. And I have a couple other smalls. This is JBW Designs Kitties in the Round, JBW Designs French Country Black Cat, Frothy Ritter Designs Diamonds from the Celtic series. It's hard to see these. Yeah, those are going to be, I guess, in my smalls category. And going forward, if I put this on a WIPGO board on a goal, it's going to be, you know, do 1,000 stitches on a small. And I'll just pick from my stack of smalls. And I also have 2 PDFs that I guess I've purchased with Christmas money for my smalls projects. This one, you may recognize the saying. I first heard this, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard this, from Bendy Stitchy, Michelle Bendy Stitchy. And I'm not going to do this whole thing as it is. I'm going to do the motifs individually. And maybe I'm going to put them in a small frame and display them maybe behind me or beside me, you know, depending on, you know, things that are going on in the world. I'm also looking to possibly, you know, purchase, well, I do have some that I've already finished, some things that I've already finished from Ukrainian designers, which I can point out, you know, once I have them fully finished. And I hope also to add to my collection of smalls with something that will support trans kids in Texas as well. If you have any suggestions or have seen anything that's, you know, a charity chart that's being, you know, proceeds are being donated to Equality Texas, for example, let me know. And I will look into purchasing that pattern to add to my pile of smalls. I have a second PDF. It's not really a small. I might also have a piece of fabric, but I really doubt it. That is part of my scraps that can fit this one. I think this is Leela something designs. I'll put a screenshot of the shop here. But I want to do that one. But again, it might be too big, but I have a huge piece of Aida that I could cut from to finish it if and when I get to it as a part of my smalls projects. Speaking of Ukrainian designers and finishes, I finished, here's a picture, I finished my bookmark. I didn't get to show you the finish before I left, but it has been sent to be fully finished to my aunt, and it is from a Ukrainian designer, Stitch's Loving Shop. I put another screenshot. Sorry, I'm being bad with names here at the end of shops. But she's a Ukrainian designer as well, so if you're looking for Ukrainian designers to support in their time of need, she's another good option. And yeah, I think that's it. to be honest, I think I'm done. Finally. It's only been an hour. A little under an hour, actually. But anyway, yeah. Thank you for sitting through this entire WIP Parade and WIPGO Plans video with me. And oh, I did forget something. I'm waiting for something in the mail. When I was at the Stitching Nook in Osage, I bought a pattern that they had a model for. I cannot find a picture of it online. It's an Aimee Broken, I think I'm pronouncing that right, design of 3 snowmen, which I'm going to stitch for my grandma when I get it. And hopefully I'll be getting it in the mail soonish. And when it gets here, I will definitely show you. But anyway, now that is it. I will see you guys later. And I think I will do another video at the beginning of April, since this is at the beginning of March, end of February. I think I'm going to do monthly videos from now on. Since I'm doing WIPGO, I'll be able to show more WIPs, you know, every month than I would every other week like I had been doing in the past. So I will see you in April. Bye-bye.